excited for the new Power Rangers movie?
I like Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Banks a ton, so kinda. Mm-hmm. But I never watched Power Rangers growing up, so I have no nostalgia stake in it.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I watched some of the Power Rangers, but I think I played with the toys more than I actually watched it. There were so many.
The toys were so awesome.
The
never
toys
had
were way
any of
better.
them.
Yeah, the toys were way better in the show. I mean, it was the whole... I think I was in elementary school when it came out because I'm old as shit. But it just still, like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, great, another superhero movie. Cool.
Most cartoons back then were like just to sell toys.
Oh yeah,
yes, main example is Transformers for sure.
They still are.
But there's one. Anybody watch Starcom? Do you guys? Anybody know that cartoon? It's a it's an American cartoon. I think it's like about NASA sending like into space and like ships needing to fight bad guys or something like that. But the cool thing about the toys is there's like a big aircraft thingy, spacecraft, and there's like magnets to put smaller ships. It's really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Fucking cool. Yeah. I had one. Don't know where is it now. I think my mom threw it away. Just like most things.
Yeah.
Atari is thrown away. The PS1.
It's probably a rare
PS2,
collector's item now too.
The Sega Genesis. I saw one for at least $50. $50 US. And I don't think it's brand new as well. Yes, hello and welcome to the playonultra podcast, episode 63. The usual crew is back, but we have a special guest today, Rob, from Germany.
From
Not
Germany.
really German. Yeah.
Special.
Stationed in Germany. If you guys remember, he was he came on the show before. How long ago was that? Last year, was it?
I think it was straight up a year.
I don't think
straight
I
up
was
is
part of
not
that
a
episode.
memory. Yeah.
It was before I joined.
It was one of those like one-on-one episodes, like a special episode thing.
Okay.
So
I warranted a special one. Yeah. So that's good.
He is the host of the Big Jiu Jitsu Podcast.
Right. I remember that now.
And you are starting something else, right?
Yeah, we're Devin and I are starting up another podcast, and it just mainly covers everything we shouldn't be covering in a jiu-jitsu podcast because we can't stay on topic. So
I know what that's like.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck it, why don't we just do another podcast? I'm like, oh, it's a great idea. I'll just devote more of my free time to podcasting. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I know it's not out yet, but what is it going to be called?
It's called Welcome to the Games. It has nothing to do with video games, so...
But board games, maybe?
I was going to say board games?
Just, how about everything?
Everything.
It's going to cover
that's
everything.
not jujitsu.
That's
So
right, which is everything.
It's a lot of things.
Everything's a game to you? Is that what this is about?
Yeah.
Good at jokes.
I can't take my life seriously at all, which is probably why I'm in the majority of the predicaments I'm in. So.
You are also training for something, aren't you?
Yeah, on October 2nd, I'm fighting for the IFSA Super Heavyweight MMA title in Germany.
Ooh,
That sounds cool.
that's really cool.
Yeah, we'll see how cool it goes on the 2nd.
So what's a typical day in your life right now?
Oh my god, typical day makes me hate my life. But a typical day right now is wake up, I'm military, so I got to go stand outside when I don't need to because it's way too early in the morning, and do PT in the morning. Then I'll go to work, do work for like 3 or 4 hours. Lunchtime rolls around, I'll do something either like boxing, lifting, or wrestling practice. Then go back to work. Then after work's over, I either teach class or train myself with the class, or then I go to another place and work either my kickboxing or my jiu-jitsu. And Sundays are my only day off where I get a podcast. That's it. Awesome times.
I'll need to re-listen to that in your audio file because
things.
Skype just like made you sound like a robot to me the entire way.
Oh no.
Fuck you, Skype.
Are you
I
calling
gotcha.
me a robot? I know, some of us in the military can think for ourselves. Thank you.
Replicants.
So, yeah. Rob, you're the guest
Yes.
today, so let us know what you've been doing, what you've been playing, you've been watching anything.
Oh man, so as my description went, I don't really have much free time right now. However, I stayed up way too late when Deus Ex dropped because curiosity got me more than like I probably should wait for some reviews before I just throw money at throw money at a video game. But I liked Mankind Evolved. I like the original Deus Ex series, so I felt like I had enough faith in the series to give it a try. So far, like I've got maybe 3 hours in, enjoying it. As far as watching stuff, I wish I could bring more to the table right now. But I did start watching Voltron actually, so that was
Nice.
Yes, really do like
so
it.
everybody's watched Voltron.
Everybody has watched Voltron.
I haven't finished it. I've seen like 3 episodes.
I finished it, which
finish
is a miracle.
I like it.
But...
Yeah, it's a good mix. Like it kind of kicks back like some old school 80s humor, I suppose, like the way too exaggerated faces and laughing. So I've been watching that. Playing there's all my usual shows are not up right now. I've got let's see, because it's 5 a.m. now. In like 4 hours, I got a 24-hour shift, so I'm gonna catch up on a lot of stuff. Because I sit there and make sure people don't burn the unit headquarters down. So since it's Saturday, nobody's gonna be there, and I'm just gonna watch TV. Unless you're in the Army, then I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to be doing. And yeah. I'm gonna be good and do security checks and all that good stuff, and watch all my TV shows, play Deus Ex. Done.
Play Deus Ex while watching Mr. Robot.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of good stuff about that. Like,
I endorse it. It's good.
Okay, I'll definitely check
it out. It's on Amazon
today.
Prime now. If you guys, so that's a recent development, which is cool.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll watch it. How about that?
Good.
In some way, yeah. But
is Deus Ex the only thing you played?
Right. Well, there's I'm trying to remember the game. It's like Robotron, old school Robotron. If you guys ever played that, pretty much waves of robots from like an arcade. You use the directional button to move, then you use the look button to fire in a certain direction. It's fucking awful. I can't remember. It's a video game podcast. I can remember shit. It's come on, man. So. Been playing that a little bit. Broforce.
Yeah, that game's so good.
It is, man.
Isn't that like an arcade game?
It plays like a bit of an arcade game.
Robotron.
Robotron,
yeah,
sorry.
Robotron, yeah. I was using my PS4 controller for that. So, then playing Broforce just because it's ridiculous. The characters are ridiculous in it. Love it. Just how everybody is broed out in some way. And then it's just side-scroller platforming, like time trial stuff, and I'm into like short games. You can just jump in real quick, play a little bit, then leave, and you're not like, well, shit. If I save now, that gives me like 3 minutes to shower, and then like an additional 2 minutes to get dressed, and then I can be at work on time. But I need to know what happened, so I'll just like skip the shower. Like weird shit like that. But
yeah. Well, I still have that problem with Broforce. So I'll be like, I'll jump in and play a few levels, and I've played the game all the way through now like 3 times. Just like it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, I beat it again. Oops.
I think it's more fun because I try not to look at like lists of like, oh, what characters are in this game, or like what weapons or like stuff like that. So when you rescue enough bros, you get. You have no idea. Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, they just unlock, so you get like, oh shit, like the Turbronator. I
don't remember their bro names. They all have like the Brodador or the Predator or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So it's like
Bro.
I have to like pause the game for like a good 30 seconds and laugh about who shows up. It's like Broade or something like that because you can't really bro out the name Blade.
There's some hard ones. Like, I don't know how they do Dirty Harry. It's like just Dirty Bro. Brody Harry.
Well, I had
Will Smith's character is in Men in Black.
Agent Bro or something like
okay.
But that's, like, I enjoy shit like
Brolander.
that. Yeah, wait, that's a character? Brolander?
I think he's pretty near the end. The Highlander will be in it, though.
Sweet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
They keep adding more. Like, there's a ton now.
Robocop, I think, is probably the funniest one to me.
It should be the Bro Cop. Just double down on the bros.
The Bro Cop.
I was talking about my friend recently. I love RoboCop, just in general. I love RoboCop, but it's a pity because if you pair him up against anything else, he probably loses. Like, he loses a Terminator, he loses a Predator. Like, he's not that strong, but he's so cool. It's a pity.
He's meant to fight crime, so
yeah, just lowland, shoot criminals in the dick. That's like his thing.
Yep.
Right? Have you guys seen that? There's a scene in the original RoboCop where he shoots a guy in the dick, and so like these fans made a scene where it's like just 5 minutes of him just running around shooting people in the dick. It's so funny and so bad. So many prosthetic dicks.
Oh yeah, because at the end, like the final boss, like he's got it out, man. He's just like flaunting his garbage, and RoboCop just like
in the first RoboCop, the bad guy's isn't it Red from that 70s show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird to see him in anything else.
Yes.
To me,
kind
he's
of the
red.
same character, just a little more evil. Like a Walter White version.
I don't even think
What else,
Walter.
Rob?
That's really it. Movie wise, I tell you, man, I lead a boring life. It's terrible. Like, I'll still jump on some games. Really getting tired of first person shooters. It's like really getting tired of first person shooters. Like I'll be like, oh, let me play some Overwatch. Jump on Overwatch for one game. I'm like, you know what? Fuck Overwatch, and then just like walk away from multiplayer first person shooters. Let me put that back, because Deus Ex is a little different now. I'm having a good time with it.
Are you playing it stealthy or loud?
Right now I'm playing it stealthy. So I'm playing I'll play this game through probably 3 or 4 times. Like I haven't even hit the main storyline yet. I'm still just
side.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Which version did you get? The PS4 one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So, my desktop, maybe one day I'll have a really awesome desktop so I can do VR stuff or whatever, but right now it's primarily for podcasting, and I still haven't figured out what else yet. So it's for podcasting and storing podcasts, and then like I'll type papers on it every so often. So I'm like the most non-video game person here right now. Yes.
I if you go by hours, I'm probably the least this week.
It's difficult. Like, you know, a lot of people talk shit about it. They're like, oh, you're playing video. Like, dude, it's your hobby. If you enjoy it, you do it.
Yeah.
But man, like life gets in the way, man. And being an adult sucks. I'd like to go back. I'd like to go back to, like, you know, I talk about with my family every so often. I just play Xenogears. And I remember near the end, there's like 0 fucking save points because you're like on the last disc. It's like disc 1 and 2, you have like all these save points. Disc 3 is like you got 1 because it's pretty much like a pity save point at that. Like it's like, look, you can save at this point, but if you fuck up and you turn off the PS1, you have like 3 hours you got to go back through for like just story.
Wow.
So
that's rough.
They would get
I don't like that.
No. Yeah. So my family would get pissed at me because I would pause it. Yeah, I'd pause it, turn the TV off, and then like I had like this shitty dishwasher job. Do that for like a couple hours, come back. Like, we couldn't watch TV. The freaking PlayStation was on. Like, oh, my bad. Yeah.
Wait, you couldn't just change the input?
Gotta finish the game.
Back then, that's not how it worked, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine, though. I mean, I was cool with it. Like, my parents, maybe not so much, but I was like, hey, I got shit. I got to work. I got to finish this game. Like, it's my choice. You know, you should be happy I'm out there working. I mean, I'm not slacking off, but I also monopolize the TV when I'm not here. So I'm sorry.
So,
for what did you play? You say you played very little this week.
Yeah, basically just 2 games. Both of them were keys sent to me. So I don't know if either one's for sale yet. I think the first in a few days though. So the first one is called Last Will. I think I mentioned this last week in the podcast, but I actually played it. So it's the escape room simulator type thing, where it's a series of rooms with puzzles on how to get out of them. So it's good. It's really good. And the thing I think that makes it really good is the puzzles are fine. I mean, some of them are a little hard, some of them are a little easy, but there's enough randomization in them that the game is highly replayable, which I think I did not expect from a puzzle game.
I didn't watch the videos. Is it first person perspective or what?
It's first person. Like, it looks like if I just was like looking across the room and I saw someone playing this in the corner, I'd assume it was Amnesia.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
But there's
Is it
no
one of those
monster.
like if you fail then you die?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I haven't failed yet because basically,
He hasn't
basically
failed yet.
there's so there's it's a serial game. So every 2 weeks they release more content. So the idea is you're trying to slowly work your way through puzzle rooms to the center of this mansion. So right now only the first like 5 rooms are released, but those 5 rooms are random. So it's actually like 8 different kinds of rooms, but on a run you'll only encounter 5 of them. And so you have like an hour and 15 minutes to beat them or something like that. But you can also play it in the mode where there's no time limit, but to unlock the next set of rooms you have to do it within the time limit. And they're similar enough that I've gotten good enough that I can usually beat the 5 rooms in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
So it's not too bad. But it's really good. I haven't tried out multiplayer yet. The game was supposed to launch, I think, today or something, but they've been bug squashing. So like we're going to push it back a little bit while we fix our servers for the multiplayer, because that's, creates a bad first impression when you can't actually do the multiplayer. So
Are you sure there's multiplayer?
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
Developers these days
say
say it has multiplayer, and then they put a fucking sticker
doesn't?
on the back of the freaking case.
Part of the I have little incentive to try multiplayer because of the rooms so far, only one of them would be fun to do with multiple people, maybe 2 of them. But like for the most part, like if there's multiple people running around the room and moving things, that could make some of the puzzles way harder. Like
just to interrupt you,
yeah.
let's start our weekly session of bashing No Man's Sky. So,
Okay, sure, yes. This is gonna persist for a while, I suspect.
Yeah, I think so.
no, it's just a very short thing.
No, I mean each.
Oh, you mean
week,
for
I think it's-
multiple-
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while before this dies down.
So you know how they say, or how he says, or whatever.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. You know how you said that you can discover new things and then you can name them and then they'll be yours, your naming schemes forever, right?
And the idea was other people would see your naming schemes, right?
Exactly. Turns out that was not true. So this guy,
On a couple
he was
levels.
playing it. He was trying to get into to the center of the universe because that's apparently the goal. And then he was like, I'll backtrack. I'll go back to like my old waypoints and shit. Look at the stuff that I named just for nostalgia or whatever. And he was like, okay, this is the planet that I named. This is something else that I named, like the waypoint. Everything else just wasn't named anymore. All the plants, all the animals, I think most of the waypoints as well. So yeah, fuck you, Sean Mourinho.
Jeez.
Dude,
And so the facts that we've had more data. It looks like it's not like a bug or anything. The game just doesn't store your discoveries after longer than 2 weeks.
Probably.
So anything older than 2 weeks is not saved in terms of names.
And I was reading this article, and then at the bottom, somebody commented defending the game is probably just server issues. That's why like the multiplayer is not up. Like, dude, there is no multiplayer. Like, stop.
doesn't
God dang it!
Stop that shit. There's
What is
not
that? That's
gonna
not
be
cognitive
multiplayer.
dissonance. What is that? That's just like delusions of
I
mediocrity.
guess.
Delusions of mediocrity. That's
What
that's
nothing
the
but
term.
Second Festival do.
So you're telling me that this game with, was it like
Million.
18 quad, whatever, right?
Quintillion.
All these, something insane. You can't store the names of it. So you spend all this time. The game is basically, like Christopher Columbus in space at this point, or like
Supposed to be.
like Magellan or whatever you want to say, Ponce de Leon in space. I don't give a shit, right? You can't save your names because like 2 weeks out, they're just like, you know what? Fine, reset it. Let somebody else find it because there's that limited amount of planets and plants and animals.
There's probably
Doesn't
because not
even-
enough space on the server, maybe.
Does it even do
Yeah.
the thing where you can see another person's named creatures? Does that part work at least?
I'm not so sure. Stay tuned
Okay,
next
'cause
week.
I don't think it does. I bet it doesn't either.
Okay, I'll look it up and then we'll bash it next week again.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say I was reading. Didn't the player base has dropped by 80%
Yes.
already?
Yeah, I
At
saw
least for
that.
the
GameStops are
PC.
getting back their copies to sell as
Already,
secondhand,
yeah.
as used copies.
80%.
So I'm guessing I'm gonna say
Number
that
of
the
concurrent
only
players.
version of this game that can be saved is the PC version because of mods. That is the
Right.
only thing. Like, quite a few
That's
mods
true.
are coming out. There's a mod that makes everything huge, like so all the plants and the animals super huge, makes it into this because I think the base game just doesn't give you that awe emotion, so they had to make a
Yeah.
mod for it. I mean, it really sucks when normal people have to fix your game for you.
Kind of. I just hope they allow the mods. I hope they don't suddenly go, nope, shut down on that one. Because
Sean Murray is looking like the bad parts of Bethesda with Peter Molyneux right now.
I know. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
I saw on NeoGAF they had a great GIF in relation to that news article. It's from The Simpsons. I can't remember which episode, but like Mr. Burns trying to like pedal away on like some ornithopter filled with money, and it's just decaying around. All these parts just falling off. Just like, well, they put his face over Mr. Burns' face.
Darn it.
They're just falling apart all around him.
So that concludes
yeah.
this week's bashing on No Man's
Bashing
Sky.
on No Man's Sky.
No man's nothing. So the second game I played it's called Memento Temporis: Light from the Deep, and I definitely, just looking at it, it's not the sort of game I ever would have bought. Like, so the key was sent to me, and it's like, I'll check it out, because it's not like a anime dating sim. It looks a lot like Terraria. Just looking at screenshots, you could easily mistake this for Terraria. It's a side-scrolling game. It's got clearly like caves and stuff. But it's not really. So it's more like a Metroidvania. It's a side-scrolling action platformer. And the
Nice.
thing that I think makes this kind of unique, worth checking out, is the combat system is a little more timing intensive than most games of the genre. So you have like a jump, a kick, a punch, a block, and like a backdash, and you have like a stamina bar. So it almost plays a little bit like Dark Souls, where you're trying to like time your attacks around your opponents. It's not quite as deep as that, but it makes things a little more engaging than just running around hitting with your sword kind of stuff. And it's so the two things it does most, I guess, are fighting, which it does good, and exploration, which it does good. Where
Is
you're
it just
trying
a
to,
demo right
explore.
now, or what? Is it full?
It is early access. It is like beta 1.1 or something. But there is a free demo, but I believe this is like the early access like release version so it's full or whatever you would call that. I don't know what you'd call that. It's more than a demo, but less than 1.0.
Is that crafting or like some kind of progression
it's all
system?
just it's just Metroidvania. Like you explore, you get
so
items
that's-
which give you new
So
abilities.
it's more
you backtrack.
Metroid than Castlevania then.
Yes,
Not much progression.
There's no RPG elements. I did today just get an item that like increased the damage my punch deals, and I got an item which gave me a mana bar, which is weird because I haven't seen anything that uses mana yet.
It's probably in the
that
next
was
update or
interesting.
something.
Well, I mean, or I haven't beaten the game yet, so I probably just need to explore a little more and get like a magic wand or something. I don't know.
I played an early access game like that before. It had a mana bar, but nothing could use the mana. I was like, what the fuck? What is this
Oh,
for?
jeez, that's pretty funny.
But now the full game is out, and it's like for magic and shit.
Oh,
Of course.
That'll be interesting, actually. This will be... Yeah, if it's a linear game like this, not like a sandbox game, I'm usually really bad about going back and checking it out once it leaves early access. Like, if I've beaten it once, I'm probably not going to go back and do it again for this sort of game. I don't know. Broforce is definitely an exception. So I guess that was my week. What about
Sarah,
Sarah?
what did you do?
So actually, I think I played fewer games than you because I was spent trying to do a lot of edits, and I think I played Pokemon at one point. But I did watch things. So if we want to do another easy bashing, so last Saturday, I actually accidentally had to go see 2 movies. I know you're probably wondering how I accidentally go to see 2 movies.
Accidentally.
It's because I had made plans with one friend, and then as I woke up Saturday morning, that friend said he wanted to see one movie, and my friends wanted to see another movie later that night. So I started off my day seeing Kubo and the Two Strings, which was really good, and I
was
really,
really
really
good.
liked it. I loved it. It was great. It's very magical. The art style is great. The only thing I don't like about the art style is the teeth look too real, but that's okay. Everything else is great.
The mouths were a little weird. I just like the lips. I don't
The
know.
lips, to me, it's the teeth.
area
The
around
te-
the mouth was weird.
Yeah, the teeth just look too real. Like, I don't know, it kind of creeped me out
Maybe
a
they
little bit.
were real.
Yeah, maybe I don't think they were real teeth. It was just the uncanny. It hit the uncanny valley a little too much for me. But then I got to end my day by seeing Suicide Squad.
Should have flipped the order.
Didn't I warn you?
You did. I knew about it, but my friends were like, "Let's go see it anyway."
Fair, if I had friends who wanted to go see Suicide Squad, I'd say yes too.
So that's what happened.
I'm just not gonna go see it by myself.
And I'm sorry for people having to listen. This was my facial expression throughout the whole movie.
It's a facepalm, exasperation face.
Yeah, can you hear the face palming? That's the face palming. Yeah, it was actually worse than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. You have to understand, I'm usually a very forgiving person. I am very good at finding the light in most things, and my expectations were on the floor, and it went to the basement.
Yes, validate my opinions.
Yeah.
It's really way worse than you think.
It was a lot worse than I thought. The plot, I don't know what happened with the plot.
It was all over the place.
It was all over the place. It was not consistent. Pretty much I'm in the same page.
Do you agree that it was really focusing on Mr. Will Smith?
Yes, it was. Which I didn't mind
I'm not saying he wasn't good at it. He was very good at it.
He was very
so good that he'll be very good in a movie just for himself, but it's a Suicide Squad. It's not Will Smith and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. So he was great. I personally liked Harley Quinn. I know some people didn't like her as much. I was fine with her, and I didn't mind Amanda Waller. But everything else didn't make any sense.
Badass.
Yes, she was great. I liked her too. And the actress who did her, Viola, she was great. But my favorite part, however, is I thought I don't know if I can say it 'cause it's spoilers. Does it matter if I spoil Suicide Squad?
I don't think you can spoil a movie that's so bad. Like, you can't ruin it.
It's like saving
Just give a warning. How long will we be talking for? 2 minutes?
Huh? It'll be like 2 minutes. We'll say 2 minutes.
Alright, skip ahead to 2 minutes if you want to torture yourself with Suicide Squad later or something.
Yeah. I'll say when I'm end spoiler, I'll do a big thing. Anyway, do you guys know what the term fridging means in comic book terms?
Oh man, I've heard it before. I don't know what it means.
Okay, it comes from a term. It usually happens to like the female love interests of the superheroes.
They don't change?
Yeah, no, it's when so it's basically when the female like love interest is killed simply for like the male superhero to be like all and then like go.
Okay.
The term came from the fact, I think it was Green Lantern, I forget which iteration, but like his love interest was literally cut up into chunks and put in his freezer.
Right.
I
think it was Lantern.
Yeah. So the reason I say this is because at one point you think that the Joker was actually fridged, in my opinion, because his only reason for being there was just for Harley Quinn. He had no other reason to be in the movie. And so you would think at one point he dies, like that he was just fridged then for her to be like, find her moment. Then at the end you find out he's alive, and that was
Would you
sucky.
ever actually think they killed the Joker though?
No, I wouldn't, but I was hopeful. Listen, I really wanted it to happen. When he died, because it was so sudden, I started laughing because I was like, I hope that because that's what my mind went. I was like, I hope they fridged him. I hope that he's dead and that this was all just for Harley Quinn. Then at the very end, nope, he breaks her out of jail again. I was like, darn it. Anyway, end of spoilers. It's bad. That's all I need to know. So that was my experience. But Kubo was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Kubo actually had some visuals in it that really reminded me of Dark Souls a lot.
I could see that. I could definitely say that.
Specifically Dark Souls 3. Like the giant skeleton boss and then the people with the giant witch hats.
Yes,
There's some Dark Souls stuff going on.
I need to watch it.
It's really good.
Out here too.
I didn't think I was going to be able to, and I did. It was great.
I really like the music in the video. I'm curious to see how it does as a standalone soundtrack, because it's good enough that I want to try the soundtrack, because it might be good, it might not be good.
I actually completely agree with that, because the music folds itself so well with the movie. It ties in so well with it that I don't know separate whether it would have the same experience. I love that style of traditional Japanese music, though, and so I'll probably still listen to it. I'm not gonna lie. It's something about, I forget what that instrument is called. It starts with an S, and I'm
not the sitar?
Sitar, thank you.
Okay.
I love that instrument, and I love the arrangement of everything with that, so... but yeah, it's really good. I didn't think I was going to see it, but I recommend it. The only other thing was, as we mentioned before, I actually finished Voltron Season 1. Ends on the worst cliffhanger ever, and so I'm really mad. Yeah,
that disincentivises me to watch it anytime
It's actually
soon.
quite pointless. It's pretty much season 0.5.
It makes me mad, but it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Otherwise, so
Have any of you watched Stranger Things? I think this was no, right?
I have not, but I've wanted to. I've heard it's really good.
Okay. I really
I
like
still
it.
don't know what is about.
I definitely think you should watch it,
neither.
but I will say, for the duration that it is, the payoff seems a little but it's still good and
okay.
you should watch it. It's
How
just
long
like
is it?
I expected more from the ending.
How many episodes is it? It's not a lot, right?
It's a fair number, at least 12, and they're like hour-long episodes.
Okay.
Or like 40, at least 4. I don't remember. But it's a...
I'm excited for Luke Cage. Can't wait.
I haven't seen any trailers, but I mean, he was good in Jessica Jones, so
Yeah,
more of that, please.
they released a trailer for, wasn't it like Comic-Con
The
or something recently?
Defenders?
It was.
Yeah, I heard
it was.
about that.
It was him kicking like this gang's ass to old dirty bastard. It was
and there was
amazing.
one point in the trailer they kind of like did a throwback to his old school. You know, he wears like the two
You would,
silver
the
thing
yellow,
and the thing.
V-neck with the
I
collars and
don't remember the
headband.
yellow thing, but he had the two like metal
Okay.
wristbands.
Because he's
and,
Power Man.
and that tiara thing on his head did a
Pretty
throwback.
much.
It was
Yeah, that's
70s.
okay.
It was cool, man. You can get
He
away with that
was. He
type
was
of
hip.
Fine,
He was
it's
disco.
He was hot back then. Hot.
I actually
So is it
can't
my turn?
imagine this Luke Cage with hair very easily.
So is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a racist thing? No, sorry, I don't think so.
For
No?
what?
I don't think
Luke
his
Cage
face
with
is
hair?
good with hair though. I just can't picture it like you said. Just kind of weird shape. Anyways, I played. Remember that game last week I mentioned where you had to make kits, and then you
Yes.
send your kits off to
did
battle
a
in
video.
dungeons.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So it's a JRPG called Conception 2, and I played it. And
Oh, I'm thinking a different game.
it's basically a visual novel and dungeon crawling. And it's okay. It doesn't seem very charming, the visual novel parts. I play visual novels usually because it's very like it invokes emotions in me.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing visual novels. It's either
Yeah.
oh my god, this is so sweet, or this is so sad, or this is holy shit, that's a big ass dick. And and
Sorry, I did not expect that.
Do you need a screening process for visual novels, Char?
and what was I saying?
Anyway.
The visual novel parts, I played it for like 1 hour. I wasn't really getting into it. I probably need to give it more time. And I did the whole sexy thing to make some kits. And the dungeon crawler parts is also kind of very meh. So I feel like the two parts was very meh and then slapped together.
That sounds a bit like Massive Chalice.
Massive Chalice. Isn't that the what's his name? Psychonauts guy?
Yeah.
Double
Schaefer.
Fine.
Double Fine.
It's a Double
I
Fine
don't know
game,
if
right?
Schaefer specifically, but it is Double Fine, I believe. It's same kind of deal where you have like half of the game is like kingdom management. You're like, you are the king and you are the queen, and now make a baby. And then you take the babies and you have them fight in a tactics game, and that affects like which territory you control. And if they live, they get older, and then you appoint them to the king and queen. And so it's all about like almost like eugenics. 'Cause, like,
Can't you
this
make-
man, he's an engineer, and this woman's a thing. If I combine them,
This
they become
woman's
like
a
an
thing.
engineer thing. And it's like it's
See,
just. It didn't work out super. I
Can't
didn't
you-
like it that much. It was
Can't
kinda
you
a good
make
idea,
babies in Fire Emblem as well? I
Fire
haven't
Emblem
played Fire
Awakening,
Emblem.
kind of.
Right.
Fire Emblem Awakening, it's more about like your babies from the future come and fight with you.
though. Oh god.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's a future thing. I played the whole game. It's,
Although
it's
to be
more,
fair, Cable is one of the cooler X-Men. He's a baby from the future.
actually, when you were talking about that game, Char, the thing that came to my mind is it sounds like a less good. I'd ever played this game, but my boyfriend loves this game. Dimensional Neptunia.
I
heard of
tried playing that. I couldn't get into it as well. Hyperdimension Neptunia is a JRPG where you use video game consoles that are like girls to fight
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So like the
Oh,
girls
I watched an
represent
LP
video
of
game
that.
consoles.
yeah.
That was pretty
And,
cool.
and their
It's a good
costume all
concept.
that represents the video game console that they represent. So it's very weird. Like the newest game just came out for Steam. And
was
but
more than
Conception
one.
2, I hear people say, I read on Reddit that people saying that the visual novel parts are the best parts. So I guess I need to give it more time, but I kind of refunded it.
Oh well.
Because I'll probably get it again when it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I refunded it because I wanted to get another game. which I'm not so sure if I want to get it now. But I also made the Chroma Gun video and the Reigns video, the two games that I played last week. I finally made a video for
Reigns
that.
that I was thinking of.
Yeah. And I've been playing a bit on my PSP.
Ooh.
And I've been playing Loco Roco, which is one of the best PSP games you can play. Super cute. Such a cute game. Love it. I've been playing another game. It's not really that popular. The only reason I know about it is because I watched a YouTube video, like a Hidden Gems PSP game kind of video, and they love that game. It's called Pursuit Force Extreme Justice.
That sounds cool.
Just by hearing the name, you will probably deduce that it's about playing an American meathead kind of guy, and it's like fast-paced action and rock music and like cheesy storyline. You'll be 100% accurate. And it's fucking good. It's really good. It's an action game where the main part of the game, so there's like a few different mechanics. There's like a sniper mode, there's a mounted gun mode, and also a on foot mode. But the main mode is a vehicle mode. So you're driving around in a car chasing bad guys. But the cool thing about it is you can jump from your car to the bad guy's car and hijack their car.
Oh.
So he'll be like jumping freaking far and really fast, and it's just really super cool. And the music is really good. And the game is able to give you a sense of speed, even though it's like on a fucking PSP small ass screen. It was able to give me that with the music, and the cheesy storyline is fucking great. It's amazing. I love that game to bits.
So it's like a 90s cop show in video
Pretty
game
much.
form.
If you have a PSP and you love action games, you must have Pursuit Force Extreme Justice. So that's actually the second game. The first game is just called Pursuit Force, but I probably won't be buying that. One's enough. I also hacked my PSP so that I can play PS1 ROMs, PS1 ISOs.
That should be allowed natively. That's dumb.
It is
should
actually.
be.
Oh.
I did not need to put an emulator. I just needed to put the ISOs.
Okay.
Because the PSP, when the store was alive, they were actually selling PS1 games. So it had a native emulator on it. But because the PSP store is basically no more, it's down.
Oh,
you can't buy any PS1 games anymore. So the only way to play PS1 games on your PSP is to put a custom firmware on it, and then put in the you have to convert the PlayStation 1 ISOs to a type of file that a PSP can read. So I have some pretty cool games. I have the Spider-Man Activision game. I love that game so much.
That was good.
I have a shmup called Strikers 1945, which is also a game that I love a lot back then. And Suikoden 2, which is a game that I've never played, so I'll probably play on a PSP, I think, maybe. So that's cool. And the highlight of my week is an indie game called Valley. And it was released and nobody knew about it. The only reason I knew about it was because Jim Sterling made a video on it. It's a first-person... When you start the game, the first 10 minutes, you'll be thinking it's a walking simulator. But it's actually an indie first-person action puzzle platformer. So after like 10 minutes, you'll find a suit called the Leaf Suit. And the Leaf Suit allows you to like jump really high, as well as revive or kill things. So you can take... What?
Did you play a story about my uncle?
No.
Whatever it was called. It looks a little similar.
Isn't that the one where you like grapple on things and then
you have like it's a bit like three-dimensional.
I've been wanting to play that. I heard it's good. But it does look sort of like that.
This looks better.
Yeah. And the main mechanic is you can give life to things or take life away. And it's... I only played like 1.5 hours of it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the best games I've played this year. And...
Does it have story?
Oh, yeah. It's like a mystery thing. You're trying to find something called the life seed. Sounds... Right? And... but it's like... It's gradually like you're discovering things. And the game has these parts... Because your leaf suit gives you like metal legs, sort of shaped like a kangaroo's leg, kind of. I don't know what that term is called.
The backward, reverse knees, whatever.
Yeah, reverse knee style. So you can jump very high, and if you run on a slope, you go really fast. And those sections are really cool. It feels like a Sonic game because you're just going very, very fast, and then you're just jumping all over the place. It's really fucking cool.
It was like Trevor's Ascension a little bit.
And the life giving and taking away thing is also very cool because you don't actually have a health bar. What you have is sort of like a health bar, but the health is for the
Health
environment.
mana. Life
it's
mana.
not for you. So when you die, the suit will take life from the environment to bring you back. And then on the top, the UI on the bar, like 2 leaves will go away. And then when you revive more things around the environment that died to revive you, it will replenish it, sort of replenishing your health. It's really fucking cool.
So is there a finite number of things that you can revive?
You
or
have
randomly spawn?
to shoot that health thingy, you have to have enough energy. And there are energy orbs around. It's just that certain areas don't have that many energy orbs. So certain areas you might need to balance by taking life and putting back, sort of thing.
I wonder if it's going to have like story repercussions.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
are
sure.
a force of blight. You get the bad ending or whatever.
But it was also released on the PS4. So Rob, if you want to play that, you can.
Will do.
It's I don't know, like
Oh,
a
the double
$15,
jump.
$20 game. It's an indie game, and it's fucking amazing. I love it a lot, and I think everybody should play it. Yep, that's the highlight of my week. Anything else, guys?
I'm slowly wrapping up watching Penny Dreadful, which is okay.
What was that
I
about?
wouldn't recommend it though. It's set like in London in like the late 1800s, and it's a bit like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where you have a bunch of like book characters, like you have Dr. Frankenstein, Dorian Gray, a werewolf guy, a witch girl, an explorer who's kind of a knockoff of Alec Quatermain. And so the main premise is the explorer guy, who's played by Timothy Dalton, which is why I'm watching this thing in the first place. His daughter has been like taken by something like a vampire devil. I'm just not really clear. It's some evil thing. And so he and the witch girl are like trying to get her back, and so they recruit people like the werewolf cowboy. I guess it's a spoiler, he's a werewolf, but it hasn't really meant anything at all in the show yet. And Dr. Frankenstein. And then Dr. Frankenstein has his own little side story where he's like trying to help them, but the entire time like his monster is trying to like, hey, make me a wife kind of thing. So it's like it's a drama with dark magic. There's a lot of like, fake blood and stuff involved with like satanic rituals. So it's not terrible, but
You don't recommend
it's gotten
it?
a little samey so far. What?
You don't recommend it?
Not really. A lot of people do though. Like that's kind of why I started watching it, is because like it's gotten really good recommendations on Netflix. A lot of people like it, and it's not bad. It's just also
The
to
reviews
the end
are
to
really
see if
good.
this. Yeah, again, it's got the acting is fine. I don't know. It's just there's not a lot of progression forward. It kind of stuff just kind of happens. Like in this episode, spiders come out of the walls. It's like, okay, good.
Who does Evergreen play in that?
She plays the witch girl helping out Timothy Dalton. She's like his surrogate daughter, essentially, helping him find his
That's
actual
Billy
daughter.
Piper.
She plays a random like lady of the dock / horror woman who falls in love with the werewolf cowboy.
What the fuck? Hold on. Can you
Sounds
back
like
that
a
up?
fucking anime.
So Billy
Seriously?
Piper,
Okay.
aka what's her name from Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Rose. She plays like a whore who falls in love with the cowboy werewolf guy.
Sorry.
Sounds like an
like-
anime. Seriously.
Yeah, it was just like that sentence. It was like the horror woman falls in love with the fucking werewolf cowboy,
So-
and the space pirate is,
I'm
running
going to
this.
spoil things a little bit. It's hilarious because in the first season, she has this really strong, really bad Irish accent. And she dies of like consumption. But then Frankenstein Dr. Frankenstein brings her back as a potential bride for his monster, but he kind of falls in love with her, and she doesn't have the accent anymore. She has like an English accent, so it's better because there's no crappy accent.
So
but it's
Irish
worse
people are
'cause she's
secretly
like,
English,
what
actually?
are flowers or whatever. You know, she's all dumb. Like, learn me how to read. What is love?
Oh, man.
So does she look weird or something? Like
I
parts
think
all
she
over
looks
her
normal.
place,
She
like a
looks-
hand on her forehead or something?
No, she looks normal. She looks better since she died. She's
Oh.
paler. Like, because before she died, she was all like sick and weakly and coughing up blood all the time and gross. And then right now,
And she was a
Dorian
prostitute
Gray's,
at the same time.
I don't even know why he's in. He hasn't done anything really. He had sex with Eva Green once, and now he's having sex with like a transvestite. It's so weird. There's so many different storylines, and there's no point to like half of them. But I like Timothy Dalton. I do like everything with Timothy Dalton.
I want to watch that movie Evergreen is gonna be in.
I do.
It's coming
too.
on next month.
Kind of. The Tim
Miss-
Burton one, right?
Yeah, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea,
Looks cool.
but I don't know. The trailers, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. I won't be seeing it opening weekend.
I hope it's not like just pure action. Oh, that's Chris O'Dowd. I did not know that.
I don't think it'll be action. I do love Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, and there is. I think Samuel L. Jackson is playing the bad guy.
I know he's in it. I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, looks cool. I think it's coming next month.
I didn't know Chris
30th
O'Dowd was in
September.
it. That actually makes me much more likely to see it.
Say again? Oh, Chris O'Dowd.
I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah,
That
I didn't know
makes
as
me a lot more
well.
likely to see it.
I didn't realize he was in the trailer. I don't think he was.
That's another show I need to finish on Netflix. It's I highly recommend it. It's called I think it's called Family Tree. It stars Chris O'Dowd, and he's basically just doing research on his heritage, his family tree, and he's finding people and talking to them. And it's a Christopher Guest show. Christopher Guest did things like Best in Show, and he was Count Rogan in Princess Bride. He's done stuff. I like most of his directory work. So it's just kind of a cool show about him meeting random people. There's a good bit in like the second episode where he finds a picture of like his great grandfather. It's like he's wearing like a full on kimono. He's like, Am I part Chinese? And they're like, well, maybe it skipped a generation. Like, that's not how it works. So there's a big like mystery about why he has this picture, and like it's pretty funny.
I've been seeing like on TV, what is that person's name? Quincy Jones's daughter that was in Parks and Rec. Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones. I didn't know that was Quincy Jones's daughter.
She's
That
Kristen
makes sense.
Joseph. Yeah, and she was like best friends with Tupac, whatever. And she's in a show where it's a comedy where she plays like a detective or something.
That show is amazing.
I've seen bits and parts. It always makes me laugh.
I saw one episode by mistake because I was watching a show on like Amazon, and now you can get this one episode for free if you keep watching. It's like, okay, I'll watch it because but it's season 2 episode 1, so it's really weird, but it's hilarious. It's basically a modern day police academy, like really Leslie Nielsen
Angie
type
Tribeca.
humor.
That is.
Yeah, Angie Tribeca. It's like really fast cuts to like a physical gag and then a cut back, or just weird stuff. It's so funny. I really need to track it down and watch more. I'm making a note of that because I'd forgotten the name.
You can know of things to watch.
So yes, I think we can slot in a couple of news before we wrap up.
I have at least one story I like.
Nice. You can go first.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you the honor to go first.
This is probably, you probably heard this story.
I always do.
So, what was the is it Inside? No, what was the two-dimensional, the side-scrolling walking simulator black and white puzzle game that came out like last week, 2 weeks ago?
Inside.
It's 2 weeks ago.
By the Limbo guys?
Inside.
Inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
The
the
people who
Limbo
made
guys.
Limbo? Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's been 2 weeks since release, and it already has had the DRM cracked.
What DRM is that?
The DRM company is called, let me see if I find it.
Is it the same one with like Tomb Raider or something?
It is the same company who did the Tomb Raider DRM, yes. So the Tomb Raider DRM
Dunavo?
took like 6 months. Yeah, it's like Duroro or something like that.
Yeah, Dunavor.
Dunavor, yeah. And so they cracked it in 2 weeks this time for Inside, which is insanely fast and is, indicating that eventually DRM's just kind of not going to be worthwhile anymore.
Yeah.
They will never learn though.
Nope.
They will never learn.
They
I've
gotta
been trying
try.
to sometimes I've been playing Steam games offline, and I noticed that I can't play it offline. Like when I go online, only then they'll let me boot up the game. Fuck you.
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Son of a fucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's Doonable, right? I think it's called Doonable.
Sounds right. I know there's a V in it
So
somewhere.
if they cracked the inside one, means anything using that will be cracked, right?
It's definitely crackable. Because so the way it works is in the source code, or in some layer of code, basically the game just checks like against a thing, like the DRM, every random time interval. And so basically they have to go through the entire game and somehow magically find these checks, and they can modify the code not to make those checks. So I think part of the reason it took less time with Inside is it's a shorter game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like a per game basis. It's not a entire
It's different. They have to do that process for each game.
Right.
But
means
the more they do it, the
DRM
faster they'll
is
get at it, maybe?
modifiable for each game, sort of?
That is true. Yes,
Ah, okay. That's
I believe. I mean,
pretty...
the
high-tech
pattern
compared to the
/
old
location
DRMs.
of those checks will be different in each game.
I was watching this like retro game video, and I believe the game was Tales of Monkey Island, I think. One of the
I've
old
heard of
adventure
it.
games. It came with
Yeah.
DRM, where you had to... It's like a CD. It's shaped like a CD, and on the body is like bodies of people, and then you can twist to match heads to the bodies, and you have to match it to the proper one, then you can play the game or something like that. It's quite cool, that one.
Old games had that. Like I was
Yeah.
watching a Let's Play of an old point and click adventure by friggin' Camelot. No, what's the big? It's like King's Quest. It's King's Quest. One of the older
Quest.
King's Quest, whatever. But who makes those games? Whatever the company is.
Sierra? I don't know.
Sierra, yes, thank you, Sierra. And they got stuck, and it turned out like it wasn't even a puzzle. Like it looked like a puzzle. Like enter in like this weird code to proceed. And, like where's the clue for that? Where's the clue for that? It turns out it came with the pamphlet with the game back in the day.
Oh, wow,
Heard
that's
about
quite
this
cool.
issue.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Very
it's kind of
meta.
cool. It's kind of sucks too, though, because
Yeah, it
like,
sucks.
I mean, it's cool, I guess. Like your example is cool because it's still a real world puzzle. Like in this,
Right.
in this example, it sucks because it's like, here's the password to use when you get to this point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's just.
And if you don't
that's
have
just boring.
the guidebook or you don't have the little booklet,
Yeah.
you're stuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if Steam's good enough to have those sorts of things with it somewhere. Like if you look at the community guides, I don't know if they have a copy, like a photocopy or what. I don't know how they got past it.
If they're gonna put
They were
those
able to
games
find
up.
it online somehow, but I feel like it should be officially tied to the game too, if it's going to have that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I remember like Leisure Suit Larry, one of the same type of games. Like you had to prove that you were 18 years old. I was like 12 or whatever.
How?
So no, it was like a quiz. So it'd be like, you know,
Oh.
hey,
Yeah.
like
That was cool.
what happened in 1958 with you know like U-2 spy plane got shot down was the name of the pilot, and then eventually it was like, so what's the code at the back of the guide, or like what's the keyword at the back of the guide or whatever, and then I remember something like they had to do for the original Metal Gear Solid when they ported it and you got it off of like the online store was that they had to include the like I guess like a PDF version of the manual in game so you can get Meryl's codec frequency, otherwise you're screwed because you don't have the case.
Right.
So it is there. I'm sure they could do it. It's not. I don't think it's
Yeah.
that difficult to.
I'm not sure
scan-
how many of the Leisure Suit Larry games came with this, or even if it's a limited run copy or whatever. But one of them came with a napkin, just in case.
Just in case.
A napkin? You need a tissue. A napkin's too rough.
Or like a really classy washcloth.
I think it's like a
would be
washable
nice,
thing.
too.
Yeah. I want like a silk handkerchief with my initials embroidered on it.
Like a.
You're
I
asking
wonder
for
if-
too much, man.
I wonder
Your
if people
box
are selling
issues.
crusty versions of those on eBay.
Oh God.
Why are we not looking this up right
Oh,
now?
crusty.
Hold on, I'm looking
Things
this
I
up.
don't need in my life. That.
Oh
You know,
shit!
that's the kind of crap that future archaeologists are gonna find. Like WTF?
Pretty much.
Shit.
Because it's the future. That's how archaeologists will talk. WTF will be around forever.
I
right,
found it. Hold on. It's
Oh.
came with which one?
I'm not sure if it was just one or all of them, or even if it was a like a limited edition kind of thing.
Okay, it's a cocktail napkin. We're all just sick. We're just sick people because we immediately went to something different. So, let's see. Leisure Suit Larry came with an actual cocktail napkin. Yes, it's called Lefties, home of the original lounge lizard. So it's Leisure Suit Larry in the land of the lounge lizards.
For the PC, right?
For PC, it came on not even was it the 3.25 floppy, the
Nice.
upgrade from the original. It's like the old school, like,
Oh, jeez.
it's a huge, I wish I remember the dimensions of it, but yeah, it comes with a napkin for a cocktail bar, not for use in
No.
cleaning up your messes.
A cocktail
It has
bar.
cock in the name.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Clean up your mess, man. I mean, don't set a drink on it. Using it to clean up your mess. So, no, I mean, it looks like a cocktail. If they want to be smart, they could have done like Tenacious D did and had like you could buy a rag. It was called the cum rag, and pretty much
Tenacious D.
Yeah, Tenacious D sold this on their. I'm a huge Tenacious D fan. So back in the day, they sold.
Is it like just merch?
Yeah, it's just merch. It was like a
Fuck.
pink washcloth with like unicorns prancing on it and like a rainbow going across it. So I think
That's
I mean,
fucking awesome.
Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. But man, I know it's a little too much info about myself. I couldn't really work with that. Sorry.
I think my favorite Tenacious D song is the one with Meatloaf in it. I can't remember the name of the song.
Oh, it's at the beginning of Pick a Destiny.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good song.
I love that song. I love
Kick a
Meatloaf.
poo.
He's
Yes.
okay, right? He had like a heart attack recently.
Yeah, he's still
in the
alive.
concert.
He's
okay,
still
right?
alive. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He's
Meatloaf's
crazy.
still
He's
going
super
strong.
old and he's still going. But he's losing his
What is
voice real fast.
Mm.
Yeah. So, okay, next piece of news. After talking about Comrex, let's talk about Sony.
Let's talk about something I can relate to.
So basically, the Rob, are you paying for PlayStation Plus?
Yes, because I'm a sucker.
How much is it per year?
Per year, I think it was like $50 a year or something like that.
That's not terrible.
It's not
Not too
terrible.
bad. Yeah.
I think it's cheaper than that. If you pay it like yearly instead of like
By month.
Yeah, like
by
you just.
month.
I think so. Like I usually pay per year. I think it was like 50 something for 1 year, which you get free games out of it. So I mean, it's not
Yeah.
too bad either.
They actually increased the price. So right now the US version is like $60, and I'm not sure how much they increased it because I don't have PS Plus. So I'm guessing if it's like if you pay per year, it was cheaper than $60, and right now it's $60. The fucked up thing is they didn't really announce it. What they did was they went back to an old blog post and put an edit on top of it. So the blog post was like from July 27th ish, and it says something like, "Oh, by the way, PS Plus is gonna go up in price." Yo,
That's a no.
fuck you, Sony.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
Like
not
if you give me a fair enough warning, like that's one thing. Like the whole Netflix thing, like you would log in and it would say, "Hey, look, we're going to increase our prices because you know we can and we like money. Who doesn't?" But
Right.
like for Sony, just be like, "And we're going to increase our prices." All right, any more questions? And then just like call it, and then you're like, "Oh, I got to renew, and it's $80 now." I'm gonna be pretty upset.
It'll be starting on September 22nd. So yeah, the blog post was from July 27th, talking about some stuff, and it seems like a lot of people are not really seeing the value anymore because it's like very rarely you get a game that you actually enjoy. I guess people keep talking about Rocket League, and it's like one of the few games that people actually enjoyed, even though it's been like a year, more than a year. Rocket League came out for PS Plus for free.
Oh yeah, still got it. Still like I'll boot it up
Nice.
occasionally just because it's fun. It's
I
soccer.
played a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a great game. Love it. So I mean, there's
Subscribers to the program should be getting an email from them. Some said they have gotten emails, so
yeah, we've
guess.
got emails. We'll see. We'll see. I'll go check and then we'll see. But that's still kind of that's shit, man. Just
So
be
shady.
upfront with it. Yeah, be upfront
Yeah.
with it. Like I'm paying for it anyways. If you're like, hey, look, we have more servers, more people playing. Got to bump up your subscription by $10 a year. Like, okay, that means throughout my 1 year, I can't go to Taco Bell twice. All right, we got it. I think I can handle that.
So, like, I remember the days of the PS3 when I did not have to pay for multiplayer. It was pretty sweet. Sweet. It's pretty sweet days. The next thing is also Sony news. This one is slightly positive, actually. So, do you guys know the service called PS Now?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I think.
It's the streaming service, right? So I pay a subscription monthly and then I get to stream games. They have like a PlayStation 3 library on PS Now.
Okay, yeah.
So they're bringing it to PC.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool.
So I can play PlayStation games on my PC?
You can play over 400 PlayStation 3 games. You can only stream it though, so you can't like download it or anything. It's like on live.
But
like
only
that.
3.
What? Oh yeah, only PS3.
But only up to 3.
Only up to 3?
Well, yeah, so not 2. Yeah, only PlayStation 3, sorry. Not,
only
not 4.
yeah.
So I couldn't play Bloodborne, for example.
Yeah.
No.
So yes, it's $20 and there's like 400 games. So like Shadow of the Colossus, Journey, Ico, Last of Us.
$20 a year?
$20 a month.
A month?
Yeah. So Uncharted, God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Gaia, Killzone, Infamous, Sly Cooper. What do you guys think about this? Like Origin has their monthly like $6 or $5, $6.
I didn't know that actually.
No, Origin. We talked about this before. You said you were thinking about it. Fuck.
Oh wait, that was Origin though?
Yeah.
Because I have a game so I have Steam games that when I boot them they have to boot Origin. That's a different thing.
So Origin's service, I think it's called Origin Vault or something like that, or something.
Okay, right.
So you pay like a $5-6 thing per month, and you get a specific number of games in their vault. It's not a rotating list.
Okay.
It's like constantly being added. So Origin, of course, EA obviously doesn't have 400 games like Sony because Sony is a publisher
Right.
and all that. But they have really good games. Like Dragon Age Inquisition is on there.
Sure.
So if you don't feel like paying full price, or you feel you're just gonna, after 1 month you can play everything, then go ahead.
Yeah, all the Mass Effect games. Yeah, it's funny because it's the weird thing. I was thinking about the use of the 20-month for the PS3 games is because I have the Elgato HD60, but I can't, because of how the PS3 is set up, I can't record PS3 games with it because something's weird about how the HDMI cords work. And so I was like, for $20, if there was a certain game I really wanted to stream that month, that would be easy to do. But it's just kind of I don't know. It's weird because like $20 a month isn't too bad, but it's a little steep if I want to do it for multiple months is the problem. But I could play if I'm able to play a game on it consistently for a month, it's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest issue that a lot of people I think that people who had experience with it is latency issues and input lag. So they say you need at least a 15 megabyte down connection. And after that, it's just like probably server location. So I think I wouldn't be getting any good use of it. I'm not sure if they have Asian servers. Like Sony has a huge Asian thing because they're Japanese and all that. But I'm not sure if they have like mirror servers over here or content delivery network style stuff. So, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
At least we can play PlayStation games on PC.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
But
I'm not sure what controller you need though.
I'm sure if you're just streaming it, that there's like some workaround at least where you can use like mouse and keyboard or something like that. I doubt you're going to be playing, like Call of Duty online through streaming through another server. But I don't see why they couldn't do that, or at the very least pick up one of your generic controllers.
Either that, or they can only force you to play with PS4 controllers. They can do that, I'm guessing.
That'd be kind of a dick move, honestly.
I would think they would let PS3 or PS4, I would think. Or does that not make sense? Maybe it doesn't make sense.
PS3 doesn't get detected by PCs.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it did for
you need to
some reason.
run an emulator thing.
Oh,
so
that's okay. No, you're right, because I've had to do that before.
Yeah, it tricks the PC to think that PS3 is actually an Xbox controller.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, so I've done it before. Yeah.
Now. I've had to do that. That's what I was
But the
thinking.
PS4 is supposed to be able to be detected by PCs, but for you can't get it to work, right? Properly.
For some reason, I played through all of Dark Souls 3 with a PlayStation 4 controller using a button mapper, and that was fine. But like a couple weeks ago, I booted up Dark Souls 3 again because I wanted to try out some like Berserk stuff, and I could not get to recognize the controller. Or the input mapper. As far as I could tell, the input mapper was recognizing the controller buttons correctly, but Dark Souls 3 wasn't picking it up for some reason.
Weird.
I mean, it's probably a unique to me issue. Probably some Windows thing driver updated that changed some interface API or whatever bullshit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, they're gonna include Ben 10 Omniverse and Ben 10 Omniverse 2 in the list of games, so I think $20 is totally worth it. Just for those games.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next one. Let's continue with Sony. It's a very small
Sony.
one. So there's an indie game called Soulbrain, Solbrain. I'm guessing it's
Okay.
Soulbrain. Soulbrain Night of Darkness. It's like JRPG stuff, I guess. It's an action JRPG.
Sounds like a JRPG name.
Yeah. And what's the newsworthy thing about this is, well, Sony is promoting the indie game, but the game is full of ripped off art and music. Like the trailer uses music from Ori and the Blind Forest, and the art is like random stuff from different games as well as like deviant art stuff. So it's like
Oh, no.
people who there's even like a Skyrim shield in it, a Terra from the MMO Terra. There's a character that looks exactly like them, and like a bunch of different asset looking things from like deviant art accounts that was not credited and shit. And Sony was like, "Yo, play this game," and shit.
Wow.
So yeah.
How did they
Enjoy
get
the
away
copyright.
with that?
What? Yeah, I don't think they did any research.
Yeah, so there's...
All you had to do was Google the name. The first thing will come out is probably the Kotaku article on it. That's too bad.
Yep.
Oh,
Kinda
Sony.
gross.
Don't feel bad for you guys though. You have so much money. You're gonna start charging people $60. Fuck you. Let's go on to Final Fantasy 15, and then it's pretty much that's all I have.
Okay.
So Final Fantasy 15. First thing is, did you guys know it will have like a collector's edition stuff? Like there's a deluxe edition and a collector's edition. So like the collector's edition will come with like a statue by like Play Arts. So it's like some freaking expensive shit. And the deluxe edition will probably come with extra content. The fucked up thing is, none of those editions actually come with the season pass. So you still have to buy the season pass to get
God dang it.
DLCs. Like,
The
whoa,
most important thing.
exactly.
Oh no.
Son of a. And I think that's like
That's
6
hilarious.
DLCs that the season pass will give you. And I
So
think
my-
the season pass is $50 or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and how many people realize that it's not coming with a season pass? So a lot of people
Yeah.
are just like straight up like,
Assume.
oh, it's a fucking collector's edition. Of course it's going to
Yeah.
come.
Oh
with
yeah, by the
season
way, the
pass."
collector's edition is $270.
What? Do they have a solid
Because it
gold
comes with the
figurine?
Play Arts.
Does
Because
it,
of the
Yeah.
Play Arts figurine. Play Arts is freaking
Yeah.
expensive.
does it come?
Oh,
Figurines
that's
are
right.
crazy.
Does it come with a cocktail napkin?
That's the important question.
Yeah, I think that is alone worth $70.
I want the Seventh Heaven cocktail napkin from Seven, so we'll be good.
Made out of silk.
Yes.
Okay, so
soft
it's basically,
silk, easy to wash.
$270. It includes such bonuses as a 192-page hardcover art book, a statue of main character Noctis, copies of the full-length film Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15, which I heard sucks, as well as the game's anime spin-off Brotherhood, which is free on YouTube, and bonus in-game content such as a unique weapon and a travel pack. But fuck you, no season pass.
For $270.
And And they're gonna be announcing more DLC after the first 6 DLCs, and those extra DLCs won't be covered in the season pass.
It's only a season. It's not an infinite season pass.
Oh,
God damn, it's like
Breaking
they
my
know
heart.
people are waiting for this shit and they're like trying to, and that is why I'm very worried for Final Fantasy VII. When they say episodic, I'm like, fuck.
Dude, you
Oh,
can't do
no.
that.
So it's
I
like
didn't
5
hear about
episodes
that
at $50 each, I'm guessing. Oh shit.
my
That's
gosh,
crazy.
they're
You
milking
prob-
us
you-
for all it's worth.
I was gonna say you probably get away with more than just 5. You probably get away with a good
60.
20. Yeah, oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily with the game that size.
If
That reminds me though, I've been kind of against episodic games, but I mentioned Last Will was having new content every 2 weeks. I'm totally okay with episodicity if it's not. I mean, regularity is the best, but even if it's not regular, as long as each date is like planned ahead of time, if I know what I'm getting into, because I'm so sick of Telltale. It's like, in 2-3 months, we'll get an episode. It's like, okay, it's 2 hours of content, great.
Still better than Kentucky Route Zero though. In 6
That
to
is
1
not-
year maybe.
Right. Yeah,
6
that's
months to
gross.
1 year maybe. We'll feel like it. We'll do it when we feel like it.
so,
Yeah.
What's the point?
so they are gonna stick with the episodic stuff for Final Fantasy VII, or at least that's what they're saying, right?
I can't
Say again?
believe they're doing that.
Like the episodes, they're gonna be like, oh, the first episode's gonna take you up to. Well, is it a spoiler alert if the game's like 20-something years old?
Nah,
No.
no.
Up to where Cloud or whatever you name your character jumps off the bridge onto the train. Like if that's the first episode, I'm gonna be pretty freaking upset because that's like a good
The
solid
thing that I
30 minutes.
remember reading about this episodic thing is they say something like the reason why they needed to make it into episodes is because each episode is so big, it's almost like a full game. So are you gonna charge full game price then? Is that why you're like preempting us?
Wait,
Okay.
is I know Final Fantasy VII is a very long game, but is it because
Okay,
of all the graphic fidelity?
Can somebody tell me, because they created a new engine, right? Remember like a few years ago they like showed off the engine at E3.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this engine is being used by FF15, right? And FF15 is not episodic.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, like, why is FF7 episodic and not FF15?
because
It doesn't make sense. It's very
That's what I'm
inconsistent.
wondering.
I can kind
too.
of see it. Look, I love Final Fantasy VII. It's the first RPG I ever played, really, and it's always gonna have like that special, like, oh, it's Final Fantasy VII. That means
Yeah.
like you play Dirge of Cerberus. You're like, yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. And then like all the other offshoots, they've gotten good reviews and stuff. But at the same time, you're gonna have people going like, oh shit, Final Fantasy VII's being remade. Of course, I'm gonna give it money. Here, take my money. Here, I'll give you. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's only like 20 fucking installments of $60. Of course, it's
What
Final
a-
Fantasy
what a
VII.
deal.
Yeah,
What a deal.
what a deal. But no
Say-
cocktail napkin, no DLC, and no season pass.
Wait.
Same shit with Battlefield 1. It's gonna be $60 and the season pass is gonna be $50. Jeez. God damn.
I think the season pass stuff, man, it kills me. Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
And
Like,
And it's not even like, I don't think any of the DLC will come close to whatever like BioWare DLCs are, or not even The Witcher 3. Like The Witcher 3 stuff is like fucking long,
Yeah.
a lot of content, which I still need to play. But still, like the season pass, they will say like, okay, the season pass will give you these 2 things, and it really just give you those 2 things. They don't like keep adding on after that and shit. Games are getting really expensive.
they
We
are.
didn't even talk about the Deus Ex microtransactions.
Oh yes, I totally forgot about that.
Oh
I
yeah.
totally forgot about that. So yes, Deus Ex.
How
is,
intrusive are they, Rob? Not very.
They're not really. Like, you have to go search
it's currencies,
for 'em.
right?
No, it's real. Yeah, it's real life currency. So I read about it because I had my phone up. I was waiting for it to load, and I was reading. I was like, oh shit, they have microtransactions. You have to go to the store, pull it up, and you can buy Praxis kits. And in the game, pretty much like
which is experience.
yeah, pretty much like you need 5,000 experience points to get a Praxis kit in game. So if you spend like, I don't know, $5 or something, you get a certain amount. So you just bypass levels. And then I
So,
think there's
like- how do you feel about that? Paying for a $60 game, and then there are like microtransactions that's essentially cheat codes.
Yeah, like right off the bat. I remember a while back, was it Bad Company 2 had finally they're like, all right, look, the game's been out 2 years. If you don't have everything yet, you can pay $20. Everything's unlocked and you can play that. Like, that's 2 years later. But like this, it's right off the bat. Like, oh, you want your guy to just be fucking ridiculously strong right off the bat? Like it's a cheat code you pay for, and for me, like, I like having to look through it and be like, well, I want to be, stealth guy, so I have to go through this tree, I have to make sure, and then I'll figure out how many practice kits I need, because it's good strategy for that. Instead, somebody's like, I like everything, I'm gonna play everything this time, and then just blows $50, an additional $50, gets all the practice kits they need, and then after the initial mission where like, oh, all my shit's damaged, spoiler alert, because you're not going to have all your powers in the beginning, just like every other, skill-based RPG type thing. Like, you're super fucking powerful, and then all of a sudden all your powers are taken away for some reason. So you're going to be maxed out on the first mission. You're just going to start punching people's heads off and shit. Low-level characters just destroying them. Like, what's the fun in that? Really,
It's like
there is no fun in that.
I understand some people are saying like they're not very intrusive, like it doesn't like flash in front of your face like, oh, buy.
Yeah.
But it's like you already paid $60 for this game, and the fact that there is an option for you to pay more money for just basically cheat codes, like back then in Dead Space 3, you could spend money to buy material to craft things, and wasn't there a recent game that also had microtransactions? That was like a $60 game. A bit more recent than
Probably
this,
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like
there's so many
Destiny.
of them right now.
Yeah, I know. It's
Metal Gear Solid
ridiculous.
5. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
yeah. You could buy
Right.
And
in Metal Gear Solid 5, you could buy the the mother base points or something like that.
mother base points, yeah, something
Yeah.
like to buy more stuff so that when people are like attacking your base, you have like better defenses and shit like that. So it's like no business is gonna put in a mechanic like microtransactions and not want you to not use it. Did I make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like there are psychological effects, even cosmetic stuff. So I can understand getting that psychological barrage in a free-to-play game because there was no barrier for me to enter, and my price was to pay to have my psychological being attacked all the time by like, hey, this character looks better than you, or this guy has more currency than you.
Yeah.
I get that because it's a free-to-play game. I got it for free, and that's my price that I have to pay. But it's a $60 game. The
Yeah.
fuck?
Well, one thing I wanted to know is, because you mentioned, so if I'm understanding correctly what the microtransactions do, they make it that it sounds like you can get, like, skills and be able to do things better faster in the game. Is that kind of correct?
It's
So,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just, is that kind of what it is, or am I misunderstanding?
It is. There's a lot of
Okay.
experience you have to do to get one praxis kit. So like I said, 5,000 experience. So
Yeah.
even completing missions, not like, granted, I've only got like a few hours in, and I've maybe gone up a couple levels, but now like you can buy out all the levels you want and instantaneously have all the skills
Yeah.
you want. So like right after your tutorial, like this is how you go to cover, this is how you shoot people, this is how you're stealthing. Like you can buy all these kits and just be maxed out completely and just play the game
Yeah.
maxed out.
So my question is like, so that just sounds already silly, but what I was actually kind of worried about, and you've played the game so you can tell me, is how kind of you level, like, do you feel like you are not skilled enough if you just play the game vanilla as you play through the game? Like, with how you, does that make sense? Like, with how you gain experience and how you gain levels, do you feel like you reached a point where you're a certain level, where you're at a certain, like, zone in the game where you feel like you can't pass because you're not high enough level in certain things by just playing it? Or has it not gotten to that point?
I haven't gotten to that point, but also it's more of like it's not a very linear like Call of Duty where you're like,
Okay.
well, I have to run in this door and shoot everything, and that's how I'm going to get past this. There's like multiple ways to approach the like this one mission I did. You had to go in this building and it's, swarmed by dudes with guns, and I'm like, I'm not a high enough level to just have a straight up gunfight with these people. But if you do enough searching, there's like other ways to get into it. So there's always like a workaround somehow.
Okay.
And this is one of those games where you can play the whole game and not kill anybody.
Yeah. The only reason I asked is I was worried that the fact that they have this microtransactions, I was worried that, okay, does that mean there's a certain point where you're playing the game and you really can't get past it unless you start buying experience? Because that would be totally messed up.
Yep.
So that's what I was just wondering.
I mean, maybe if you do like a straight run with side, like that would be interesting to see, because like I said, I only got 3 hours. So there could very well be a point where I just am up against the wall and I'm like, oh, fuck, man, what do I do? I don't have the super awesome see-through walls, punch through people's torsos ability, and I can't beat this guy.
Right.
The Ars Technica article I read said it wasn't a problem. It said it seemed like that microtransactions have been tacked on afterwards as like a separate system. The game is very well balanced without the transactions.
Okay,
that's good then. Okay, good. Because that would be... I would be so mad. Because that's just...
I still don't agree with it, though. Even though it technically doesn't affect it.
Right. I don't... To me, it's just kind of a stupid thing. Because the main thing to me that I'm just like, really? Is it's a single-player game.
Then there's no point.
There's no point
Then you're
to
paying money not to play the game.
Pretty much.
To play the game less.
Yeah.
You're paying more money to play less of the game.
You already paid
It's better to just watch a
for
fucking movie if you want to do that.
Yeah. You already paid $60. Now you're going to pay, like, what? $100 just so you can play through it faster? Like... Ugh. But some people aren't. The problem is that some people will do it. Some people will pay it just so they can get through it faster. It will happen.
And it will validate the decision made by these companies and publishers, and the stakeholders will be like, "These fucking nerds with cum rags are giving us money."
They'll just they'll throw the money at our feet so they can play the game faster because people will do it. And it's like, no, stop. This is dumb.
Oh, man. I don't know if this is worse, but the one that I remember very clearly is the Mortal Kombat X microtransactions, where you can buy like fatalities, so you don't need to key in the like up, down, whatever shit. You can just literally just use the fatalities, and it's like a you buy like a pack, and maybe you like get a pack of 100 fatalities, and you can execute fatalities like 100 times, and you need to buy it again. That's like, what's the point of playing Mortal Kombat then?
So you don't play the game. That's what I'm hearing.
The whole point of the game is to beat up... It's not even to win. It's like to make sure that somebody gets the fatalities right.
Yeah.
Even if you're on the receiving end, it's pretty fucking fun and cool. There's no point then.
And Ed Boon's just riding around in his pool on a jet ski from all the money he made from easy fatalities, so...
Oh, gosh.
Business standpoint, business standpoint, I hate to say it, but it's kind of smart. Like,
it makes total sense.
Yeah, video game standpoint, I'm like, come on, man.
Because
like you said, I just watched a movie.
Yeah, because there's no risk in it. There's no risk in this because you're not going to have outcries of people complaining that it's unfair. Like if you're in a multiplayer kind of thing, you're not going to have outcries of that. People choose to. It's not required. It sounds like the game is balanced by itself, so you're not going to have outcries of that. So people have no reason to complain other than it's just a stupid idea.
I disagree with it based on principle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, like some other games too. Like Black Ops 3 and like the games now that have like loot chests that have DLC specific weapons or weapons you can only get from the loot chests, it is very unbalanced in my opinion. So like one of them is call me, say Get Good or whatever to me, I don't give a shit, but your listeners out there, but like there's an energy shotgun in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that's like a one-shot kill from anywhere on the map. Like there's videos of guys like jumping up and shooting across the map, hitting people with a energy shotgun, mind you, and like one shot killing them. But you can only get it if you get it in one of these loot crates. And their video. But what is funny though is like you'll see people online. Like there's one guy, I'm trying to remember his name, spent $100 on the loot crates and didn't get shit for it. You just got like...
So do you spend money to get the loot crates or like to get keys to open the loot crates like CSGO style?
You spend money, you can buy loot crates, or if you play enough games, you can get enough like points in game to buy one.
Right.
Or you can just, shell out $100 like this guy did. I was like, I'm just gonna get like 90 of these crates, and then I got nothing but like taunts and whatever. He was pissed. It was like, but you're spending like $100 to try to get a special weapon,
and this is why I can't play Battlefield or Call of Duty style games, because not only are they better than me, they have better shit than me. So there's like double the shit I have to overcome. And that is why I like games like Overwatch. It's just balanced as fuck. Still haven't got it though. So yeah. Okay.
It's not bad. I get upset because I'm like, I'm done with FPSs because either you win or you lose or whatever, but I don't know. I'm feeling like going at my own pace now. Like because I'm an old man, right? Old guy. No. I still think I'm 21. But, I can only take so many 12-year-olds screaming at me before I lose my mind.
It's true. It's true.
So, one more thing about Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
So, anybody played FF13 here?
By what?
Final Fantasy 13. Anybody played?
I did not play.
Was that the one? Was that the one with lightning?
Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah.
The railroad.
You know how that game is super linear in like at least the first half, and then it became this like big open thing that you can explore.
Yeah, first two.
Yeah,
thirds
they're doing the
linear.
reverse. They're doing the reverse for FF15. So it's gonna be open world in the beginning and then linear at second half. But a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is a reverse of FF13. I think it's more of a... Because Final Fantasy games are technically, not to say open world, like you can explore, but it's very limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the things are pretty much the main story and like maybe a couple of like side quests that you can do just to like get more collectibles like cards or like extra summons or something. And like so they're saying that in this game, in FF15, in the first half is literally an open world. You can choose which missions you want to do first, because you have to go around collecting like these 13 swords or something, and you can choose which one in whatever order you want. I guess like a Mega Man style, I don't know, something like that. And then the second half will be more traditional Final Fantasy, where it's a bit more linear. Like you still can explore, but the main story is just that one main story left. You can't really.
Okay.
I'm
so
guessing.
It's not okay.
I'm gonna guess is
so.
that. Yeah.
Because if it's
It
like
sounds more
reverse
like
Final Fantasy, if it's reverse Final Fantasy 13, it's like, no, guys, that wasn't what people meant when they had a problem with it. I'm not saying reverse it.
We just gotta turn it around.
Yeah.
If we do
it
that,
wasn't.
they'll be less
You just do a
angry.
180.
It wasn't that there was a linear storyline in the beginning of Final Fantasy 13. Like the most exploring you could do was maybe walk backwards from the start point.
Walk backwards.
And find a chest.
That's literally the only thing you can do.
It was a railroad.
That's it.
That's what it was described to me as a railroad. That's
Yeah.
You
I
could
actually
do
enjoyed it.
nothing.
I think
Yeah.
it was a good game. But
The battle
second
system
half
was good.
really helped it. Yeah.
The problem is I never
Graphics
got.
were good. The songs
I-
were good. Yeah, the music was good. Yeah.
looked
didn't-
really good.
I didn't get to the second half though because I was so frustrated with like
Yeah.
the
You
linearness of it.
You gotta push through it. You have to like, take
like
it in the butt for like the first 30 hours.
Dude, I'm not getting butt fucked for 30 hours by a Final Fantasy game just to go explore the open world. 30 straight hours.
It's not
Oh
worth
my
it.
god. Not worth
Not
it.
worth it. It's bad
So yeah, that is all the news that I thought was interesting this week. Pretty much.
Hey, quick question just because I'm kind of now I'm curious about it just because we had talked about it. Are there going to be Final Fantasy 7 skins for Final Fantasy 15? I'm looking that up right now. Because that seems to be like
Probably not. It seems like a I've noticed one thing about Square these days. A lot of their not main games like mobile games and like their handheld games. There's one called Final Fantasy World, I believe, and on mobile there's like a couple of games. is not a Final Fantasy game on its own, but it's a game to... It gets content from the other games, so like you can summon Cloud and Squall from Final Fantasy VIII and shit. So I can't really see the appeal of that. Like the first one they've ever done, like crossovers of all the Final Fantasy that I can remember, is probably Dissidia
Yeah.
for the PSP, which is the Versus game. That one I can understand because it's like a fighting game. I think before that they had another fighting game as well. Guys, I think.
Yeah.
Guys,
What was it?
It was quite cool.
It was like, what was it? The catchphrase was like, praise the ring or something like that, because it had like Sephiroth and Cloud in it. I do remember that.
Yeah. And it was cool. Like I like them in fighting games, but in like an actual RPG, and the only thing I can do is play as the other characters is kind of weird. I don't like that. So,
Don't speak too loudly. They'll add it to the DLC bundle that won't be in the collector's edition.
Do you like Final Fantasy VII? Oh, would you like to have your main character dress up like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, the game that everybody loves? Like, nobody gives a shit about 8 anymore. What if I want him to dress up like Squall? How about that?
I love 8. Love 8. So what anything else before we wrap up? That's about it. I think it's a good place to wrap up.
I think that's good, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's start with Sarah. Where can people find you? Because you do things on the internet.
I do things, and actually I'll be having some things coming up. So you can find me on YouTube, Sarahscopic. Just look it up. You can find me on Twitter. They'll have at the bottom. It's like at Sarahscope. I'm also on Facebook, Sarahscopic. Next Saturday, I am hoping to do a live stream of a blind run of the Genocide run in Undertale. So, September 3rd, mark it on your calendars. Yeah. So, that's my special thing. that's my shout out.
Nice. And what about you, Fo? You can.
I do stuff on YouTube as Foehamner. I guess YouTube or Twitter is the best way to stay up to date about stuff. I forgot to tell both of you guys, I will not be here next week because I will be in Seattle for PAX West.
Oh,
right.
So, if any listeners are going to be there and want to get a piece of pie, let me know.
Yay.
Whenever I go to PAX, I eat a lot of pie because there's this restaurant like a block from the convention center called the Pie Bar, and it has not a drive-through, a walk-through. And you just walk through, get a piece of pie, keep going. It's so good.
Nice.
That sounds amazing.
It's my favorite thing. It's better than PAX. Like
Seattle has a huge like retro gaming community.
Yeah.
I really want to go
Yes,
there.
that is true.
Super cool.
I'm just jealous you're going
I
to
should
PAX
look up
West.
if they have any arcades. I have no idea. I'm sure they're probably somewhere.
And Rob,
Yeah.
you do things as well.
I do, occasionally. I wish it involved a pie bar, because it's terrible.
Amazing.
It does. Of all the things in life I've heard about that I haven't experienced yet, I think pie bar is probably up there now. Like, so before I started, it's just like any pie you want. You just walk in, you're like...
I mean, they have a menu. Like, you can get like an apple pie, or like my favorite one is called like the island dessert, or the desert island pie.
Do they have
And it's
savory
got,
pies?
Or
Or is it just dessert pies?
It's a good question. I think they do have savory pies. I don't think I've ever ordered them though.
I wouldn't either. I'll go.
I mean,
sweet tooth.
I don't know. My friends I go with, they're like, we have to go to this place once. So usually we have our dinners planned out,
Oh, okay.
and the dessert's somewhere up in the air. And there's a good crepe place. Actually, there's a burger place that's okay, but the reason it's noteworthy is they have an item on their menu called crack. And so you're like, I'd like some crack, please. And they give you fries and a little cup of milkshake to dip it in.
Wow.
Nice. That does sound like crack. Sounds addictive.
I mean-
Sounds as addictive as crack. Okay, I need to
Yeah.
go to McDonald's after this. Fuck, man.
No, not McDonald's.
I
Actually,
don't have crack here though.
This should
so
be a
it's the
debate
only-
next week, or next podcast that I'm on. What's your favorite fast food French fry?
Wendy's. I like Wendy's.
Wendy's? You like Wendy's?
Over here, I would say the KFC French fries is much better than the McDonald's French fries.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to agree
It
with
has a
Wendy's.
skin on top.
Oh, I do have to agree with Wendy's. I also do actually like McDonald's as well, but I do have to agree with Wendy's.
My friend was trying to convince me that McDonald's has the best fries, and it's been so long since I've been to McDonald's, I don't really know. But being in California, I kind of have to say that my favorite French fry is In-N-Out.
Yep, you're required by law.
Yeah,
It's by law.
Yeah.
I mean, so I like them. To caveat that, I like their taste. I do legitimately like their taste the best, but they are very limp. I don't like their texture as much as most other fries.
That's a no-no for me.
It's been a while since I've ate Wendy's. I need to test. It's
Yeah,
probably not as
the
good as
Wendy's
the
like
American
3
ones.
blocks from my house. I should try it.
Wendy's
I mean, it
used
should,
to be
yeah.
bad. I don't know, my opinion. Wendy's used to not have good fries, then they got better.
I've only really liked their milkshakes.
Milkshakes are good too.
Or Frosties. What do they call them? I don't know.
Frosties, yes. Frosties.
And then there's like a Southeast Asian thing, or maybe just a Malaysian thing. I'm not sure if it's a worldwide thing or not, but it's like a few guys will go to McDonald's and like they either buy the sets or buy just the fries, and they chuck everything on the tray, and then they put salt and pepper, and then they'll just like shake the tray, and everybody just takes from the tray. It's a thing that we do here for some reason.
That
Also
sounds
in
good.
China, I've
I
seen.
do.
I think.
The more you know. Rob, I don't think you told us what you were doing this week. Or where to
Right.
find
What do you do on the internet?
Trying to get to a pie bar. No, you can find me on the Big Jiu Jitsu show, bigjujitsu.com. Our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that is at Big Jiu Jitsu. So that's pretty easy.
I will have a couple of links in the description below.
Oh, you're a sweetie. Thank you. And
Does Germany have sausage bars? Wiener bars?
depends on your
Wiener bar.
Sausage parties.
There's
cocktail napkins with them.
absolutely, and quite a few, in fact. No, but they have no. Just I haven't run into a sausage bar, but there's like pretty much everywhere you can get something called currywurst, and it's sausage, just like regular bratwurst chopped up with like a tomato sauce and curry seasoning on it. It's pretty good. So that's like their version of like fast food or just like carnival food out here.
Okay.
And I am Pupunoob, Pupunoob. You can follow me on YouTube, Pupunoob, Twitter, Pupunoob, and Facebook, Pupunoob. If you want to get updates on the podcast, you'll be finding them on my Twitter and Facebook accounts, as well as the video version will also be on the Pupunoob YouTube channel. And I'll be doing my August game pickups video next week, as well as I'm probably gonna do a review on Valley. I need to play that a bit more, but I'll be doing a review on Valley. So I'm pushing my top 10 PS3 games to the week after that. Yep. So yes, I think that's it. It's a good place. Very good episode. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.